All right, so we're gonna be working on this project of adding user cards from the GitHub API to the DOM. This is components 2 for Lambda School, and it's split into 3 parts. And yeah, we're gonna figure this out together. This is my first time doing the project. So if you do not remember the code, you can find it here. So it looks like there has to be like some kind of script tag for this Axios library. So we'll go grab that.
And we have to make sure we put it below the or above the other one.
Yeah, right. That way the our other script tag can actually use it. Yeah, it has to be above it. That's a great point. I'm guessing you ran into that?
No, I haven't, but I know a lot of people have.
Okay. Yeah, so it looks like they created a JS where our JS is going to go, and we need to make sure to add dependency scripts. Dependency scripts above it, because this is counting on this.
Yeah.
So like we can't make a variable after we want to use it, right?
Now, if we did something like async in there, would that matter the order then?
I don't think so. That's a good question. I think at that point it doesn't matter. Let's give it a quick Google and we'll see if we can figure that out real quick. But I think that that should fix it. What does script async mean? If async is present, the script is executed asynchronously with the rest of the page. The script will be on the page you can use. If fur is present, the script is executed on the page. Finish parsing. Yeah, that's a good question, man. I don't know. Let's do the assignment and then we'll come back and we'll add async and we'll move the tag and we'll see if it breaks it.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, that's I do want to continue exploring that. So that's a good question. Yeah, let's get in this. So are we done with part 1? Is that all part 1 was?
Was that?
Follow the instructions found in the GitHub index.js. Okay, no. So let's do that.
Oh yeah, then you have to use get.
Oh, there's a lot of instructions in here, and let's do this. Using Axios, send a GET request to the following URL, replacing the placeholder with your GitHub name. Okay. So Axios GET request. Why don't we go check the documentation and see what that looks like?
That's just I think Axios.get.
So it looks like we have to require Axios, and then yeah, Axios.get, and then it looks like just the URL. Let's do that. So we'll do const Axios equals require, and what was it? Require Axios? Require, yeah, Axios. And then we're going to do Axios.get, and it says to take this and put that in here. Takes a string according to the documentation over there on the left. So we'll make that a string, and then obviously it says your name. So we'll place that with my account that we're using for this. So that's going to return a promise, which is what we've been working on. So the promise takes a then, it takes a catch, and then it can also take a finally over here by documentation. And just like the documentation says, finally is always executed no matter what happens. So let's not worry about that. Let's just work on our then and catch. You always need at least those two. So we'll just, for this assignment, we're only going to stick with these two. Catch will give you back an error. So that's where I'm getting error from. And then it's going to, all we're going to do is console.error that error. And then for the .then, I don't know what I'm expecting back yet. So this is kind of the point where we're just kind of poking around, you know, like we're going to poke around with this API and see what we get. So let's do, we'll call it response. And let's just console log that. Later on, when you're making your own APIs, like you're going to be wanting to check statuses and sending these as JSON. Right now for this project, we're just going to stick with JavaScript. We're going to stick with it, vanilla JavaScript, and we're just going to stick with the console for now. So let's run that and see what happens. We're either going to get a console log or a console error, right? Let's figure out which one. Oh, I have to run the file. What was this one called? GitHub something, right? Yeah, there we go. And index.html. And we're going to go ahead and inspect that. Check our console. Require is not defined. Line 5. Oh, that's interesting.
Require Axios.
Does it not need this? Maybe that's what that script tag was doing, and so it's unnecessary. That's my fault, guys. Sorry. Let's see if that's the case. Refresh this. Yeah, so that was the case. We don't need to require it. That was my fault. Sorry about that. So yeah, let's check out what we got back. We get back a lot of stuff. We get back a status, 200. If you go on Google HTTP statuses, some people posted in the lecture the other day, you could check them out with pictures of dogs that explain what they are. Those were pretty cool. One of the statuses is like missing information or incomplete information, and the picture is like of a 3-legged dog. I thought that was hilarious. But all the statuses mean something. They tell you what they mean right here. 200 means okay. It shows you the request that we sent. So this is what we sent to them. It looks like I sent my login, my username, stuff like that. But the thing we're interested in is our data. Data is what we get back. So it looks like we got back an avatar, which is interesting. Let's check if that's even, let's see if that's my right avatar. It won't be the one of my face because it's my demo account, but yeah, look at that. Okay, cool. So we know it's accurate.
What did you put in to get that data on the console?
Console log response.
Response. Okay, thanks.
Yep. And like I said, so this is poking around. Like this is gonna be a big part of your guys' careers right here. We're gonna hit APIs and just see what the hell is this API sending me? Like, what should I be expecting? So,
and Joe, you're looking at like different properties as part of that, what's being sent back to you right now.
Exactly. Yeah. So this object, this ... means that there's way more to it, is the response object that we're getting back from our API request. But like I was kind of poking around here, showing you guys what's what. Data is going to be what we're concerned with. So let's go ahead and just be concerned with data. And we'll take a look at that. So our response data is going to be the thing that the API is sending back. So we'll go and refresh. Oh wait, we don't want to refresh this page. We want to refresh. There you go. This one. Refresh this. Cool. So yeah, we have an avatar URL. We got a created at date. Looks like I made this back in June 7th of this year. That's when I did my first walkthrough with you guys. Yeah, there's all this information here. This is an organization. This is not a user account. This is the login name for it. Yeah, everything we need should be in here. So let's keep going. Step 2, that's what we just did. We're inspecting and studying the data. Big part of working with APIs, guys. This is huge. This is your GitHub info. You'll need to understand the structure of this data in order to use it to build your component function. Okay, it says go down to step 3. Way down here. Oh, look at this. We're back to what we were just doing. Create a function that accepts a single object as its argument. Using DOM methods and properties, create a component that will return the following DOM element. Okay. So let's do it, guys. This is components 1 all over again. We just have a new set of data, right? Kind of element, we're creating a card. Okay, so we'll do create card equals, and we'll call it a user because it's a user object, so that's good naming convention. Looks like it's all going to be a div. So div. Let's call it its class name, const card equals document dot create element card, and the ultimate goal is to return that card. It looks like that's going to get a class, so card dot class list dot add card. What else? It's got an image, so const image equals document dot create.
Quick question.
Yeah, what's up?
When you did the create element card, is it supposed to be card or div?
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you very much for catching that. It is supposed to be div.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh yeah.
Image, yep, and then source. Okay, so you guys can help me out here, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be like dot attribute source. Is that right?
Or could you just do image.src?
Oof, good question. Let's check it out. Let's Google that. Yeah. You would think because src should be the property, should be a property of an image tag. Add source to image JavaScript. 9 times out of 10, when I click on the Stack Overflow link, I immediately scroll down to the answer, right? So it looks like we could do dot, oh, that's a jQuery thing though. We don't want to do that. Yeah, dot source equals. Yep, you're right. So dot adder is like a JavaScript way of doing it. But notice like that's exactly how I was going to do it too. Dot adder and then parentheses source and then the string. But yeah, let's do it the other way. Dot src equals user dot. Okay, now when we were doing components 1, we would scroll up, right, and look at our data and then figure it out from there. But we don't have that. We have to look at our API and what we're getting back. And what do they call this? They call it avatar underscore URL. I want you guys just to notice that avatar underscore URL is nowhere in our code, right? But I see it there getting returned as part of this API call. So real important there.
Do underscores work or do they get messed up like dashes?
It'll probably get messed up like a dash. Thank you for pointing that out.
Do you want to put in like brackets and quotes?
Yes, just like that. Thank you. Oh, no dot. Yep, that was a really good point. Thanks. And the reason that is because this is technically a JSON object. And for JSON, keys are always like in strings. And so we can use underscores or hyphens or whatever else. But yeah, that doesn't always work with JavaScript, right? So thank you for pointing that out. Let's keep going. So we got our image. There's no class on it. It looks like it's just the source. And then we got another div called card info. So let's make that. const card info.
And that's a div, right?
This is a tip. Thank you for telling me. Yeah. I totally would have put card info. Card info. Cool. And then
Now, do we want to append anything now, or do we wait to append?
yeah, let's wait to append because
Okay.
we're gonna append that div to the card. We should probably though append everything else first to that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. H3 document create element H3.
Ow.
What was that? Everything okay?
What?
You okay? Did you need something?
I didn't realize my mic was on.
Oh, okay, cool. Let's see, H3 dot. All right, who's on that wants to take a stab at this? Where am I going to get the username from?
The name, right? Isn't it just name?
We're going to get it user, and where do you see name? Name is null in
Oh.
this case.
I think it's called
Login.
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 Yeah, login. I think that'd be a good one. Yep.
Oh.
So there is a name, and I
Right,
think
but
that
it's
might
not-
have to do with the type being organization.
Right.
Like had we called my account, maybe name would be different. But yeah, so that's a great just edge case of using an API is, yeah, that can be null. So we want to probably go with login. We could even do something like name or user.login. So then if I do log in, say like somebody's username, right, is like, I don't know, Big Pimpin 23, right? Like we don't want to display that on our website. We'd rather get like Tim Mitson.
Right.
So we're going to get that. But if it's not available, if it's null or undefined, then let's get user.login. Right?
Yeah, I think name is when you have a name that's different from your login. For example, my login is d-525, which is an old one I've used for years. But when I started with Lambda, I set my name for Doug Little.
Yeah, and maybe on your account even you have like Douglas Little, you know, if that's what you want to go by. And so we're going to go for Douglas Little first, and if you haven't put that in, then we'll take your Doug Little username.
Right.
Yep, cool.
That makes sense.
So that's the H3. We got name, yep. So we got a lot of P tags. So you know what that means. We're going to make a loop of these. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
was been a lot easier. I wrote them all out.
Yeah. Oops.
Of course, one of those P tags is location, and your location is null.
Yep. So that might be something where we use that or tag again, but instead of picking something else out of the data, maybe we just give it a string like not available.
Makes sense.
Yep. So let I less than, what did I say, 6? I plus. Document create element, and it's gonna be a P. We should do P tags dot push, which P tags doesn't exist yet. We're gonna go ahead and make that right now. So yeah, that should give us 6 P tags. And then it looks like they all have like different classes, different content. So we're going to go ahead and mess with them one by one. But at least we saved ourselves like half the code by not having to write out every single P tag name, right? Or create it each time. So 0 is going to be class list dot add. What is that? Username? Oh, username looks like it's going to be the login. Is that right?
Yeah.
Cool. Good to know. All right. So we'll fix that right now. We could probably just leave this. It'll just repeat itself. I think that looks nicer than like a null, you know? Or here, why don't we do this? We'll put in here C username.
Good. That's good. I like that one.
Classlist.add username and then key tags 0 dot text content is equal to user's username, so user dot login. And every user is going to have a login, so I don't think we have to worry about the or. Okay, cool. So yeah, let's copy paste some of this stuff. The next one's going to have a text content. This is location. Oh wait, we want this. And we'll create a string literal, location. And where is location? What is it called? Oh, it's just called location.
Location.
And then we'll use our Oregon. Not available. I gotta close my string literal. Cool. Now that I capitalize the A in available, I want to capitalize the U over here too. All right. So what's the next one? Profile. So it looks like instead of a, oh yeah, okay, so it's got, hold on. Profile. And then it's got an A tag. So we're going to, oh, this is interesting actually. How do we go about doing this? I guess we would just append the A tag to the P tag. Is that right? Let's try that.
Or use a text literal wouldn't do it.
Yeah, because it actually needs to be an element. That's what was tripping me up too. I was going to do a text literal. Let's try this. Let's do append child and then document dot create element. Actually, I don't like it like this. Let's do call this const A equals. I think this is better. Then we're going to append the child with the A tag. So then the A tag has a couple of things that we need to do to it, doesn't it? It needs the href, and then it also needs text content. So call it the A tag URL. A tag URL, and that will equal, where is it? What is it in the API over there?
I think it's just URL, isn't it?
That's the API's URL.
Oh, okay.
It's like it's I just saw it, HTML URL.
Oh.
So we'll do user.ht, with the underscore. And then we're going to do a.href, which should work. We'll try that. URL, and then a.text content. equals a URL. That was a pretty complicated piece of logic. I haven't really set up a way to test it yet, but I'd like to. So let's give it a try. If I do console.log, what did we call it? Oh, we didn't call it anything. Let's capture this into a data. Const user is an object. So we'll go ahead and console log this, and we will set it to user. And then we will, what's the name of our function? It was like create card, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Something's got to be broken. I've written way too much code for something to not be broken. Oh, I see. Oh, my bad, guys. I see something going on. Okay, had a little boo-boo with Zoom and crash, but we're back up. So we'll keep going. I'm going to have to figure out where I was again because that was pretty distracting. I think we were going to check something in the console. Am I right? Like,
Yeah.
we just made a
created
change.
console log to test it.
Yeah, that's what it was. Okay. So we'll inspect this. Let's see here. So that's our API call. Did I not refresh? I might not have refreshed. There it is. Okay, so we got an assignment to constant variable. We'll have to fix that. That's on line 9. This is not the right project. None of this is. Nope. There we go. Okay. So line 9, something about constant. Oh, yep, duh. All right. Now let's go refresh it. Yeah, this one. And console. Oh yeah, there's our card. Oh, we haven't appended anything to it. Let's shoot. Let's do, yeah, let's append the stuff to it. We'll make that work right now. I made the same mistake in our components 1, and I did it here again. So car.append child, or append the image. What else? Image, and then it looks like the card info needs to get stuff appended to it. Card info dot append child. We're going to append the H3 and then each of the P tags, right? So
Right.
P tags dot for each. Let's call it a P and do card info dot append child P.
One thing, your append child, you're doing H2, but your actual name is an H3.
Good catch. Thank you. All right. Let's try this again.
And you still have to append card info to
Oh, yeah.
the card after the image.
Catch again. Card, append, child, card info. All right. Index. Refresh. Inspect it. Image source is undefined. Oh, weird. You might not like how we did that. Yeah, look at that. It doesn't like that at all because the href didn't work either. Let's try to do it the other way that I was talking about before. Attribute source. Let's see if that works. Attribute is not a function. It was called adder in the other one, but I thought that was a jQuery thing, so let's try it. Adder is not a function. Uh-oh. All right.
Isn't it set attribute?
Set attribute. Let's try that. That sounds right. And I think this is one of those cases of where like jQuery had something really cool, and then JavaScript was like, yeah, we could just make that a thing. Like, we don't need you. That's why in jQuery it's adder, and here it's set attribute. It looks like that worked. Oh, still undefined though. It was avatar URL, right? Avatar underscore URL. Let's console log the user here and not here. And we'll give that a try. Yeah, look at that. It's blank. Okay, so we're doing something wrong there. Oh. No, that should do it. Anyone seeing it here? Mm-hmm. Great card. Let's try changing the name. And let's create. Let's make this a var. I know we were told not to use var, but it does add some. It breaks through some. What's the word I'm looking for? Inheritance issues or scope issues. That's what I was trying to say.
Now, could you just call that without doing a variable? Couldn't you just do like get and then access.get and just do it that way without using the user info?
Oh, you mean like? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that might be the good way to do it. Actually, that is normally how you would do it. You talking about like this?
No, I'm saying just don't even do that. Just have Axios.get and then return the response, and then inside make your variable.
Okay, but then it would be scoped to within the Axios.get, I think. Let's try this first, and then I'll try it that way, though. So now we're getting a promise that's not resolved. That's weird. Okay, let's try it your way. So we'll put the variable inside the dot then is what you mean?
Yeah.
Seems reasonable. User info is not defined though. But then yeah, so we run into that scoping problem. Oh man, what the heck? So to fix the scoping problem, we bring it out here. I guess what we could do too, we could actually do, we could create the card inside of the dot then, because I think that's why it's undefined, because response.data is
Hey,
technically
Joe.
a promise. Yeah.
Go down.
Oh, is that Skylar?
Card. Yeah, go down to your card.
Uh-huh.
What are you passing into your card as a parameter?
The user info.
Scroll up. So you have a user info there, right? But go to your function. Go
back
to like
the
your
function.
actual like card function. It's user there. See that?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what it should be, right? Like we're passing user info in here and then console logging the parameter that's being passed in a create card.
Are you invoking create card and passing the user info to it?
Right here on the console log.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Is it actually logging anything though?
No, it's nothing. And that's what I was just saying. I think it's because user info is this empty thing and the GET request isn't resolved before we're running our create card. So we should probably run create card inside of our dot then.
Yeah. No.
That makes sense?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think
Okay.
that'll work.
So there's going to be a couple things that we got to do to fix that here. And that is this doesn't get hoisted. So we need to make this a function, which feels yucky, but we have to do it. So we'll do that. And then we're going to steal this line and put that inside of here. And then we're going to put response.data here. So then we don't need this. All right, there we go. Now the user's in there. Looks like set attribute worked, and looks like just calling .href and setting it also worked. So we actually have two different ways of doing that. Does that make sense to everyone? Is everyone okay with what just happened, or did that confuse the hell out of everybody?
Yeah, can you repeat it more clearly, I
Okay.
guess?
So this is essentially what went down. We guys were talking about promises. The Axios.get returns a promise, right? And that's because it takes a long time. It takes a while to resolve that promise. So what I was doing was I was setting a variable up here. I forget what I call. Oh yeah, user info. And I was setting it to this. So this existed, right? And I was setting it inside of the dot then. But before that could resolve to something, I was using it down here. And so it was just seeing that empty object. And then if I went and created the variable inside of this dot then it was seeing the promise, and that's what kind of alerted me to it. So what we have to do, we had to change it from an arrow function to a function, or we could have copy and pasted the whole template we made and put it above our Axios.get request, right? And then we were just calling it inside of here. So this create card now does not run until this promise is resolved. Any questions on that? I know it's confusing when the person doing it is confused. And so I want to take some time here and just answer anything else that might have came up there. All right, we'll keep going then. And then back to this. So it worked like this, the a.href, that worked. And it looks like the set attribute, where was that? This up here for the image worked. So you may want to look up what the difference is there between them, because there's probably benefits to each. But I'll go ahead and put them in both places. That way you can reference it later. All right. But yeah, let's check it out, guys. We got this working so far. Look, there's our or statement that worked. I don't have a name, so it says C username, and there's my username, demo Joe Alfaro. My location's not available, so that or statement worked. Looks like we have a P tag that says profile : space, and then an A tag that says a link, and that link is clickable because we have an A tag here with an href. So far so good. We're on a good roll. Let's go ahead and keep going. We got 6 P tags. We got 3 of them down. And what's cool too is we have this whole card info thing like already set up. And so we just got to keep fixing up our P tags, and it's going to automatically update it because we're looping through them. That's the other positive of being dynamic, is that we set it up now, and it's going to help us in the long run. So P tags 3. Gotta get back into our workflow, open up our API response. And what does it want here? It's the one after the A tag. It wants our followers. So P tags 3 dots text content. It wants followers, following, and bio. So let's just get all that stuff now. Followers, following, and bio. All right, how are we going to, oh, these are going to have to be string literals. Looking at the API on the right, how are we going to get followers?
Pass in the followers URL.
Let's see, followers URL.
Or do they want to count?
Yeah, it looks like it has the count there for followers and following, right? So over here, how are we going to get that? We're going to have to do this little deal and then do user.followers. That's embarrassing. I don't have any followers. User.following. And then what about a bio? I shouldn't have a bio.
You don't as null.
And it's just called bio. And
but on the users.follower, you put too many O's in followers.
oh, thank you. I can't see it because I have your guys' pictures over here on top. Followers, and then this one's user.bio. And we'll put an or in here of just not available. All right. Is that everything? I think that should be everything. Yeah, 6 P tags. And that was the end. Cool. Let's go check it out. So I will refresh this and open up our div. There we go. We got it. See username, not available. Profile. Yeah, looks good. So let's they have a list here because I think part 2 now is going to have something to do with our followers, right? So does anyone have any questions before we go on? So far, so good. Step 2. Oh, wait, no, skip to step 3. We're on step 4. Pass the data received from GitHub into your function and create a new component and add it to the DOM as a child of .cards. Okay, so all we have to do is add it to the DOM. Let's do that. Const cards section equals document dot query selector, and it was .cards, right? And then cards. Oh, this is going to be I think we're going to want to do this in here instead of returning a card. And we're going to want to do that because it's being hoisted and then called in our Axios request. So we're just going to have to do it all in here. So cards section dot append child. And we're going to append the card. So the ultimate goal of this function now is to append card to cards section, which makes it a little less reusable, but it works in this case, like in our specific case. There we go. Cool. Any questions? Are we okay? I think depending on what they want us to do with our friends' accounts here in a minute, that might come back to bite us in the butt, and we'll have to figure out a way to fix it. But for right now, it works okay. So actually, the way that this is styled, like this, I think it was better the other way where we show the login instead of that. So I'm going to fix that real quick. And then it'll just repeat. Like repeating, I think, will look nicer there instead of like C username. Yeah, I think that's better. Cool. All right, that was step 4. Step 5. Now you have your own card getting added to the DOM. Either follow this link in your browser, manually find some other users' GitHub handles, or use the list found at the bottom of the page, get at least 5 different GitHub usernames, and add them. All right, so let's set up our Git request. We saw that I had no followers and no following, so we're going to have to add those instructors in. So we'll grab these. We're going to make a second Axios Git request here. Oops. Axios.get. And that's going to get a .then and a .catch. And that's going to get a response. And we're going to want to just console log this for now so we can see what it is. Call it followers. It's most likely going to be response.data. I'll just tell you that now. It's like that's a pretty common naming convention. I don't know if it's like a standard necessarily, but that's what I've always seen it. So yeah, let's do that, and let's go check it out.
You want the console.log error, not console.error.
So console.error is actually something that you can do with console.
Oh, okay, that's super cool.
Yeah, it displays it a little differently. Where is this it? I guess this is it. Why didn't my label show up? No, that can't be it because that should be from line 34. There it is. That was weird. All right. So followers. If we open this up, looks like we get a lot of the same stuff. We got a status, a request, and then we got a data, which is an empty array, which that's pretty sad. Cool. Let's go see what we can do about that. So it says followers, but I'm going to put following because I don't want to have to wait for you guys to have to go add me. Like I'd rather just go to add people and then we'll mess with their accounts. So how do we do that? This is a little off topic, but how do we follow people? I guess I would have to go to like the account. Oh, here we go. People. Oh, there's me. Oh, because I'm the owner. Oh, you know what? I bet you like organizations probably can't follow people.
You
So
may have to go into your profile, and that will show you who's following you,
right.
stuff like that.
But we've been working with my organization I made. So let's just work with my personal profile and hopefully nothing embarrassing comes up.
I tried to follow the demo account and it wouldn't let me.
Yeah. So let's just go with this for now. And look, this is what I was talking about. Like, see how I have like a different username and then I have my login name? And look at that. I got 10 followers. I didn't know that. 2 following. Oh, I love it. Cool. My LinkedIn, my Twitter, and my bio. So if anyone else is watching this video, hit me up. Let's see. That was a shameless plug. Where's my other Axios request? There it is. Oh, let's check it. Let's see if anything showed up here now. Console, followers, data. It's still an empty array. That's weird. Oh, because it's still demo. There we go. This is what I need to change. Console followers. There we go. Oh, you guys got active too, because now there's 12. All right. So what's the next step here? We got our followers array. Now that you have your own card, follow this link, blah, blah, blah. And add them as individual strings to the friends array below. And then using that array, iterate over it, requesting data for each user, creating a new card for each user, and adding that card to the DOM. Oh, I see. So we want to, in that followers array, we probably have like a login that we can pass to the GET request and then make a loop of Axios calls, which is super slow, but if that's how they want to do it. So we'll go back to our inspect and see if we can get my friends' logins. We can. And it's just called login. So I think what we're going to want to do, we're going to want to take this. Oops, I want to take it. I don't want to leave it here. And let's put it inside of our dot then here. And then we're going to want to we're going to want to take this, put this here, and then do followers array equals, because it's already an array, response.data, just like that. And so now we have an array. Oh, you know what? We actually, let's do this. I like this idea better. Oh, sorry, hold on. I got a call coming in. Sorry about that. We want to loop through response data because we know it's a array, and then we're going to push only the logins to the so map, we'll call it a follower. Then we're going to return the follower.login. And this will be what followers array equals. Make sense? So it should just be array of logins.
I'll be honest, I'm a little lost. I got a little confused there.
Yeah, what are we lost on?
So before that, we had the console log create card. So we're putting what we had on line 34 in between the console log and the start of the function, right?
This console log right here?
Yeah, that one on line 13 now.
So that one is inside of this dot then.
Right.
So when I say response.data there, it knows that it's this response.
Okay.
This response.data though might get a little confusing. So let's fix this up a little bit. Let's call this user data. User data. Yeah, that actually would have broke. So I'm glad you pointed that out. And we'll call this one followers. There we go. That cleared up a little bit.
Yeah, that totally helped. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, and that totally would have broke. So I'm glad you said something. Let's make sure we didn't break anything. Let's go check it out. We will console.log our followers array, and that should be an array of strings. We'll make sure that that is what we expect it to be. We'll call this my followers. So we're supposed to have stand up right now, but I'm going to try to finish this up. So if your TLs get mad at me, sorry. But you totally have an excuse here. My followers, and then, yeah, we have a lot of console logs, but let's see what we got. Assignment to constant variable. Where did I do that? Followers array.
I thought arrays were you were allowed to set those as constant because although the data changed, the actual variable didn't.
Totally, but I didn't actually change the data in it. I just set it equal to a whole new array. So that's why I was freaking out. But yeah, had I done like a for each and then pushed into the array, I could have done that and left it constant. My followers, and it looks like, yep, I got all my logins, and it's just an array of logins, so that's perfect. Yeah, let's keep going. So now the next step was to what? Create cards for each of those people. So we're going to, and that's what I was talking about. That append came back to bit us in the butt. So let's snatch these two. Let's put this back to return. And let's go up here and add it here. And we're going to append instead of console log, we're going to append it. We're going to append this. Oops. Everyone on board here? We're appending a create card of the user data.data that we're getting. So that's me. That's my main card. Now we're going to do that something very similar, but for our followers. And let's see where those are going to go. Do they have a space set up for my followers? Nope, it's probably just going to go under cards. That's fine. So we're going to do the exact same thing. But we're going to, this is going to get kind of ugly, but what we're going to do is followers array, which is a list of strings. We're going to, for each of those, we're going to call follower login. That's what we're going to call that string. And we're going to make another Axios setup where we do axios.get https://api.github.com/users/ and then we're going to template literal in the follower login.
You're missing that H at the beginning of the string.
What was that? Oh, H. Yeah, thank you.
You've got TTPS.
Which is not a thing. Cool. So we're making, you guys kind of got to follow along with the code here because it's going to get confusing when it's all written out. But as we're writing it, it should make sense. Axios.get, where we're looping through that array of our followers' logins. We're running Axios calls for each of them, plugging in that login. And then in our .then, we're going to get our followers data, just like we got the user data. Now we're getting follower data. And we're going to do the same thing we did with it that we did with our user data. And that is we're going to cards section dot append child create card. And this card is going to be with the follower data. Dot data, just like the user data. Why do I have it twice here? I feel like this one shouldn't be here. No, this one shouldn't be here. I see what I did. Okay. Cool. And then same thing, we're going to give it a dot catch. And that should have an error. And we're going to console.error our error. Let's see what I broke. Oh, look at that. We did it.
Nice.
Sweet.
Jesse and Rose got in there just under the wire. Oh, and Barbara, thanks. Cool. But yeah, there it is, guys. That's the whole assignment, right? We did it, and your TL should not be that mad at me. So if you have any questions about all this, this is definitely going to be on YouTube for one, but also feel free to DM me or ask your TLs. You can show them the code we wrote. But other than that, let's get to our stand-ups. And then, yeah, like I said, I'll try to be available a little bit after class. So just DM me if you have anything.
Could you post that line 6 through that in-between step 1 and 2?
So the whole, I will post the whole GitHub, but yeah, I could post that too right after.
Okay, yeah, because that got a little messy. I just want to review it again.
Yeah, and I did that quickly, so there's probably some great ways to clean that up. Like maybe that you could challenge yourself to do that, clean this whole thing up. You're just talking about this mess here, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, I will post that as text just in Slack. But yeah, the GitHub will be available on the YouTube, and I'll also just have the GitHub available.
Awesome. Thank
right, everyone.
you.
Have a
Now,
good stand-up.
where will we find the link for the YouTube?
I will put it in the what is that called? The notepad.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay. All right, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
stand-up.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.